Welcome to Mystery Stories 365. Today we're diving into the oldest unsolved mystery in American history, a case so strange that even after more than 4 centuries, nobody has found a single trace of the people involved. This is the story of the lost colony of Roanoke. In the late 1500s, England was racing to plant its first permanent colony in America. Sir Walter Raleigh was given the green light, and by 1584, his men landed on the outer banks of North Carolina. They quickly built a relationship with the local Native Americans on Roanoke Island, learning to hunt, trade, and survive in this unfamiliar land. After a successful scouting trip, Raleigh prepared a full colonization effort. In 1585, 7 ships carrying 600 men set sail for America. But disaster struck early. Their flagship ran aground near the Outer Banks, destroying much of their food and supplies. Forced to scale back, they sent 500 men home and left only 100 behind to start the colony. At first, things went smoothly. The Native Americans helped the settlers establish themselves on Roanoke, but supplies ran short, and the promised resupply ship from England never came, cancelled quietly by Queen Elizabeth, who had bigger problems at home. As winter dragged on, tensions between the colonists and the natives grew. Eventually, fearing betrayal, the English attacked first, wiping out a group of natives who had been helping keep them alive. When an English fleet passed by shortly after, the panicked colonists scrambled aboard. But in their haste, 3 men were left behind. Reinforcements sent by Raleigh arrived just days later to find the colony abandoned, with no sign of the men who'd been left there. Roanoke was given one more chance. In 1587, a new expedition set out, this time made up of families, not soldiers, led by a man named John White. Their plan was to settle further north in the Chesapeake Bay, but their navigator, a stubborn and respected sailor named Simon Fernandez, refused to sail any further. He dropped the colonists off right back at Roanoke instead. When they arrived, there was no trace of the 15 men left behind, only a scattering of bones. Days later, a colonist wandering near the camp was killed by Native Americans, shot with 16 arrows. It was a clear message: they were not welcome. Desperate and underprepared, the colonists begged John White to sail back to England for more supplies. Reluctantly, he agreed, leaving behind his own daughter, who was pregnant at the time. He had no idea it would be the last time he'd ever see her. White intended to return quickly. Instead, war broke out between England and Spain, and the Queen grounded every ship in the country. It would be 3 long years before White could finally sail back to Roanoke. When he returned in 1590, the colony was gone. All on 15 people, vanished without a trace. As his crew approached, they found fresh footprints in the sand, but no one came to greet them. Carved into a tree were the letters C-O. Deeper inside the abandoned, now heavily fortified colony, a single word was carved into a wooden post: Croatoan. There were no bodies. No signs of a struggle. Just an empty, overgrown settlement and 2 cryptic clues. To White, this wasn't necessarily alarming. Before he'd left, he had arranged a code with the colonists. If they had to leave, they should carve their destination, and if they were in danger, add a cross. There was no cross, so White assumed they had relocated to Croatoan Island about 50 miles south. He set sail to find them, but a storm snapped his anchor line and pushed the ship off course. He was forced to return to England, never to set foot in America again. He died without ever learning what happened to his daughter or the colony. For centuries, the case went cold. Theories ranged from peaceful assimilation with native tribes to violent massacre. Then in the 1930s, a stone surfaced, supposedly carved by White's own daughter, Eleanor Dare, describing colonists killed and captured by natives. Strangely, it was found 50 miles north of Roanoke, not south toward Croatoan, and many dismissed it as a hoax. But in 2011, everything changed. Researchers re-examining White's original maps discovered hidden patches, small corrections painters often used to fix mistakes. Beneath one patch, they found a symbol resembling a fort, drawn in invisible ink, located in the exact area where that mysterious stone had been found. Suddenly, the hoax didn't seem so far-fetched. Archaeologists rushed to the site, now known as Site X. They've uncovered pottery and metal fragments hinting at an English presence. But to this day, no confirmed fort and no human remains have ever been found. So the deepest question remains unanswered. If the colonists really moved north, why did they leave a message pointing south to Croatoan? And how, after over 400 years of searching, has not a single bone from 115 people ever turned up? It's a mystery wrapped inside a mystery. And maybe, with continued digs at Site X, we'll finally get our answer. What do you think really happened to the Roanoke colonists? Drop your theory in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to Mystery Stories 365 so you never miss a story like this one.